Christmas is a time of togetherness, peace on earth, goodwill to all men. At least, that's the theory. In truth, you rarely get to pick who you spend Christmas with, and I think everybody has been guilty at some point of wondering what the holidays might be like with a couple of choice additions to the household come December the 25th. Games, of course, are rife with colourful characters, from gun-toting badasses to anthropomorphised animals. So, in the spirit of the season, here are 7 game characters we'd love to have over for Christmas, starting with Chloe Price from Life is Strange. I know, odd first choice, but hear me out. Yes, Chloe is the epitome of disaffected youth, and she's not shy about telling you how much everything sucks, especially organised fun, but I think it's important sometimes to take some of the saccharine sheen off things around the holiday period, and if anyone can be relied on to inject a little dose of reality into proceedings, it's Chloe. There's also the fact she's actually very personable once you get past the whole tough guy attitude. She's really, really good with strangers when she decides to make an effort, for instance. Look at how hard she tries to fit in with Rachel Amber's parents in Life is Strange Before the Storm. And she bloody hates Rachel's dad.
Your daughter's pretty great.
Thank you. We're fond of her as well.
You ever feel like she's so awesome at everything that you just want to shake her? Yeah. Me neither.
If things did go wrong and a family argument broke out, however, you know Chloe would be great to have on your side. What's more, she's got good taste in films, she enjoys little indulgences like a good meal or a wee tipple, and she'd almost certainly come packing a few festive extras in case anybody fancied stepping out for a minute and getting extra merry. To borrow a phrase, Christmas with Chloe would be hella fun.
This song fucking rules. Can't dance, hippie? Come on. Rock out, girl. Yes, break it down, Max.
Of course, Christmas Day is nothing without a good spread, which is precisely where Link comes in. The hero of Hyrule wowed us with his cooking ability in Breath of the Wild this year, so it seems only right to put him in charge of Christmas dinner. Fried wild greens, spicy simmered fruit, glazed meat, pepper steak, salt grilled mushrooms, the list of culinary delights is practically endless. There's also the significant advantage that Link never speaks, and the value of a guest who appreciates a comfortable silence can never be underestimated. That said, even Link can have his bad days in the kitchen, and nobody wants to have to eat one of his failed experiments on any day of the year, let alone on Christmas. Just in case some becobbling guts do accidentally find their way into the spread then, it'd be handy to invite Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Beginning. Who did this to us? Who attacked the tribe?
At the slightest sign lunch might be inedible, you can just send her out with her trusty bow, et voila! She'll bag some game for the table. She is a natural-born hunter, after all. Better yet, she'd almost certainly be up for a brisk walk through nature once everyone's eaten, just to break the day up a little bit. I mean, who doesn't enjoy a ramble through a dangerous wilderness at Christmas? If you ask me, Aloy is a must-have guest come December the 25th. Just checking though, you do eat robot, right? Speaking of characters from far distant video games, our next festive guest is Zavala from Destiny. And I know, he's a bit of a square, but come on, look at the guy. To be perfectly honest, he looks like he could use a break. Frankly, letting him flop down in an armchair for a bit and maybe have a sherry would be doing the guy a kindness. That said, he'd probably insist on coordinating the cleanup operation because some people are simply incapable of switching off, even at Christmas. So at least you know that's the dishes sorted. There's also the fact Zavala has an absolutely amazing voice, so you could easily ask him to read a few Christmas classic stories while everyone slips into a festive food and booze-induced nap.
But the day may come when we will be tested, when all we hold dear is threatened. And then we will see what each of us is truly made of.
I could honestly listen to those dulcet tones all day, which at Christmas time is definitely saying something because Christmas music is almost universally awful. And that is chiefly why Lucio from Overwatch is the next video game character to get an invite to the party. He's a pretty chilled guy, but you know for a fact he wouldn't tolerate even one rendition of I Wish It Could Be Christmas every day. He'd save the whole thing by spinning some tunes that are both fitting for the time of year and, most importantly, not dreadful. He'd also be handy to have once it's time to pack up all the Christmas decorations, come to think of it. He'd happily break it down. Sorry. But of course, Christmas isn't just about cooking, eating, drinking or listening to good music. Presents are also a factor. And I'm not saying Chloe Fraser from Uncharted is only getting invited for the sake of acquiring more material possessions, but you have to admit she'd almost certainly give a good gift. They'd almost certainly be stolen, obviously, and chances are she'd turn up with a number of flesh wounds requiring some fairly immediate medical attention, but where else are you going to get a priceless artefact that by rights really ought to be in a museum? Exactly. There's also the fact Chloe Fraser would definitely get on with Chloe Price. Put those two in a room together and you'd never be in for a dull Christmas. Assuming you're happy to drop whatever it is you're doing at short notice and go on a daring, potentially life-threatening and almost certainly illegal adventure. That is.
You want the tusk? You need my help.
A thief?
Collector of antiquities.
A parasite who exploits our struggle in order to fatten her pockets.
So that's a no.
Speaking of presents, and I'll pause at this point to say we're definitely not just inviting people because they'd give us good things, but Tom Nook from Animal Crossing is absolutely loaded, so he'd probably come packing some pretty excellent gifts. I mean, that's just common sense. Also, it's probably time he gave something back, given how much flipping money we give him all the time. Is there a single person in existence who doesn't have a whopping great mortgage with Nook Homes? He's bloody loaded. Actually, maybe Tom would have a Christmas Carol style experience and get visited by a bunch of ghosts on Christmas Eve, turning up as the very spirit of Christmas and making sure everyone had a wonderful time. That, or he'd just turn up with a bottle of whiskey, get everybody pissed and then sell them an even bigger house at an extortionate price. The bloody miser. And there you have it, 7 video game characters we'd love to have over for Christmas, as long as they didn't stay beyond the 27th, that is. They're welcome for Boxing Day, but there's only so long you can put up with Chloe and Chloe hotboxing the spare bedroom while Zavala talks about the importance of a well-organised spreadsheet when it comes time to do your taxes. Those are our picks anyway, but what about yours? Any classic characters you'd have over for a bit of turkey? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, there are plenty more for you to watch. Just click away at the ones on screen now. Do like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing from Eurogamer. Thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day.